That was amazing. So that was one of the most memorable parts of the story, of your book.
I love that. Steve actually ran out to the room and was like, Bobby, what about the part when she had to swallow the air that he breathed? Listen, that gave Steve a life, just so you know. So Michael is still sharing, passing on the game.
Thank you, Michael.
But for me, I think that car ride, when he surprised you, I was just so wrapped up in that moment with you because, number one, I don't like surprises. I don't like it. But in that one, it just felt like, this is big. This is going to be big. I was on the edge of my seat reading this book like I was watching a movie. So I love the detail. I love the way that the book was just amazing and conversational, and like I told you, I could feel the love. I could feel the love. But I want to hear from you about the process of writing. Like, what did it feel like?
So that's kind of big for me. So the process in itself was. It had come to a point to where I was finding myself in that middle ground. I was stumbling over myself. I didn't know what to do. I was becoming teetering in and out of depression, or being angry, going back to the old self with the hard heart. And I didn't want to do that. I had come too far. And I said, I need to get this out. When I was a little girl, my mom used to tell me, if you get mad at me or you're mad about something, you don't want to say it, write it down. So at this point, I started writing, but then it was easier for me to talk through it. So I started recording my thoughts. Those thoughts became memories, which became memories.
Wow. Okay, so that explains.
Yeah, it was more of a release. So it's like I'm talking to the world about me without really saying it's me. I can tell the story like it's a fairy tale, but it's actually true stuff. And then the part I want to talk about what you mentioned about Michael breathing breath in me. It's a funny story. So I was preparing for a wedding, and because I had lived in Asia for a while, I had met some Asian designers. So why go buy a dress for $2,000 when they can make one for like $200, right? So I got fitted for the dress, and when the numbers came back in Asian measurements, I was not turning in those numbers. They were too big. So I decided I would shave some off a little bit. I shaved it right around the middle. I couldn't fit the dress when it came in because I did a little too much shaving. So we went to the track every day. Every day. And on Saturdays, we would go extra hard. So this particular Saturday, I went to the gym, went to the track, sat on the curb, pouting. I can't do it. I have no more breath. I can't go any further. I just can't. And at that point, Michael looks at me and said, I understand your order that dress too small. Let's go. I can't do it. And at that point, he reaches his hand out to me. I grab his hand and pulls me up. And my lips touched his. And he blew air into my mouth and pinched my lips like you're blowing a Zerby to a little kid. And he said, now swallow it. And I said, swallow it with a gulp noise. And he said, come on, let's go. You have my breath. We can do this. And at that moment, it was like, I have him not only with me here, but I have him here inside me, encouraging me to push me forward. So I did another mile and a half that day, and eventually I was able to. Happy work.
Wow. So when you first start writing, well, in the intro, it speaks about how you were coming out of a marriage that didn't work, and your heart was hardened. And I just want to, if you could expound upon, that aspect of it, because one thing too that I'm, when I'm talking to some of my single guy friends, they will say to me, it's hard out here for a single man that's a nice guy that's trying to meet women, because a lot of them, have hardened hearts and because they're coming out of past relationships that didn't quite work out. And so how did that affect you? Because you had vowed to never do this again. So take us to that process. And if you guys could also elaborate, if you guys